Welcome back to the Wizard Weekly, where we talk about everything in gaming. So I finally got the chance to play Mario and Luigi Brothership for the first time after a week of me owning the game but not popping into my Switch because I've been occupied with other, wizard shit. And I finally want to get my first impressions of this game because I wanted to, make a whole video out of doing that the day that it came out, but again, shit came up. So I just want to preface all this by saying this is my first Mario and Luigi title that I've played myself. I don't have the nostalgia factor for, longing for a Mario and Luigi game since the last iteration came out in 2017 with Superstar Saga. But luckily, Brothership, it does take inspiration from other Mario RPG titles that I have played, most recently the one being Thousand Year Door, and just the fact that having this turn-based combat system, having the click to button for your actions and shit, having the combos with obviously Mario and Luigi, and it being about 2 hours into the whole gameplay, I think that the game is fun. I really like the comic book sort of art style with all the dark outlines on every character. I don't really care for like the plug and socket type of world that they're living in, with all these characters have these freaking eye sockets for eyes and shit. I do think that they talk funny as hell. Like Connie, her sped up EDM type of voice box that she got on is hilarious to listen to. Like that shit just sounds like the sample to some sort of like a jerk beat from 2017. Anyways, I do think that the level designs to where you make use of both brothers at one time, like I can use the B button to make Luigi jump and shit, that's a pretty fun mechanic. And to be honest, I'm not the best at strategy RPG games in the sense that I can do it. I don't like to think too much when I'm playing games because I'm usually playing late at night when my brain is fried. It's been a long day and I just want to unwind. But after playing Final Fantasy games and going through the end game of that bullshittery, this game really feels like just a fun time to enjoy the RPG genre, but without having to tactically plan out freaking my next move like this is World War III. Because Mario and Luigi, this is obviously a game geared towards the younger generation, at least in its rating, and obviously in its game mechanic for everyone to be able to pick it up and play. So Mario RPG games in general aren't hard at all, but I still do appreciate just having the easygoing nature of being able to play this game. My only thing is, I don't know if it was early game or like I said, maybe it was late at night, but I did get kind of fatigued over the gameplay loop, maybe because the game didn't really push me too much. So I don't know if that's just what the game's gonna be for me halfway through it, but I don't really have the urge to pick up and like play this thing religiously, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that as a way of malice. I'm just saying I'd rather take my time playing this game and just pick it up whenever I feel like looking at all these bright ass colors. It's just a fun, saturated, easy to pick up game that you would expect from any Mario title. Like I grew up playing Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Brothers Wii, and just that whole era of gaming, just picking it up and playing it whenever I felt like having that challenge that day. And this is undoubtedly that, but unfortunately there are some performance issues, like how I have been seeing online. The game did unfortunately freeze on me one time, which isn't normal for my Switch, at least. I've had some games freeze on me where I had to turn the system off and turn it back on, and I have had some frame rate issues. But again, the Switch is it's damn near older than the target demographic for the Nintendo Switch itself, so I'm not mad at it. Well, let me take that back. I'm kind of disappointed because again, the game was $60, so and nobody wants to have an experience like that for $60, but still a decent title for the end of the Switch generation, at least as we wind down towards the end until the Switch 2 gets revealed and shit. But yeah, decent game. I'll pick it up whenever I feel like playing it. Like I said, I don't have any real motivation to just grind this game out like I would for maybe what's a game that I grinded out from Nintendo recently, like Pokemon. Competitive Pokemon makes me want to sit down and just grind out as many battles as I can just to get ready for the tournaments and shit. So I wouldn't compare it to a game like that, at least in my perspective, but still decent game. And moving on, we kind of got this yin and yang effect going on for the PlayStation 5 Pro right now, since it recently came out finally and it's in players' hands. And while we do have like really cool findings, like how Digital Foundry, they did their obvious deep dive into this console and obviously did as many tests and shit to make sure that it's performing as advertised. And in their hour-long review, Digital Foundry found that the PlayStation 5 Pro uses similar wattage to the PlayStation 5 Slim in the base PlayStation 5 model, only with a difference of like 10 or 15 or 20 different watts. Like Elden Ring, which you just saw gameplay of, the Pro model operates at 214 watts of power, the Slim at 216, and the PS5 launch model at 201. And even the frame rates in the respective order goes from 52 to 40 to 37, which is really cool to see that you get all these upgrades, but not at the cost of any more power consumption. Something that Digital Foundry claims that they just did not expect with this console, since it does come with a more upgraded GPU. So they expected that, you know, more T-flops meant that it was going to draw down on your your light bill or your electricity bill. So that's obviously the good side of the PlayStation 5 Pro, to which, you know, I'm happy that there is a good side, because, you know, for a lot of people, this console isn't going to be for them. But for those that want to buy it, you know, they have that to look forward to, except when you got to take into account that there's also problems with some of the PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced games that apparently some users themselves are being subject to right now. So this dude on the Silent Hill subreddit, he claimed that the PS5 Pro enhanced version of the recently remade game, when you turn on, what is it, performance mode, I believe? Yeah, performance mode. As you can see, the ground and like reflections and shiny spots of the game, they make this weird ass like popping looking thing right here, look like grease on the ground. Basically emulating a PlayStation 3 in 2013 when you got the games that came out that year that can barely run on that old ass console. Like it's just a really weird thing to do that many people are claiming it is because of the PSSR, which is the image upscaling feature of the PlayStation 5 Pro that makes, you know, obviously the resolutions more sharper, but apparently, you know, some games still have to get this tweaked and readily available. Even Digital Foundry just recently made a video on a similar issue going for the performance mode of the PS5 Pro on Jedi Survivor, to which, as you can see here, there's a little bit of the same kind of texture spasm that we just kind of, you know, went over. And again, this only happens when you turn on performance mode that uses the PSSR technology, which is annoying because, you know, all these PS5 Pro enhanced games, they're charging full price for these titles, so you would expect it to be on day one. Obviously, you know, after all this time of them developing this shit, you know, we just talked about how the PlayStation CEOs claimed that they were working on the PS5 Pro since they started working on the PS5. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, so whether this is at the fault of the developer of these games that, you know, don't look the best on performance mode, or the console itself at Sony, we don't know. But hopefully, you know, for people that paid this much money, this gets fixed as soon as possible, because that's just annoying. And moving on, we're all familiar with the platform of Steam, right? You know, the online gaming marketplace where every PC gamer gets most of their games from, and, you know, probably the number one reason that you have a dent in your bank account because you always buy shit that's on sale but you never get to play it. Yeah, that's Steam. So for a while now, Valve as a company, they've been known to handle Steam pretty, you know, hands off from the players. And whether you're selling a game, you're going to take a 30% cut of, you know, the game's profits after you reach a certain threshold. As a player, you know, they really manhandle you too much unless you have like a VAC ban from doing some dumb shit. They even step in when the developers and publishers themselves do some dumb shit. Like even when Helldivers 2, when they had that whole PSN requirement and when people wanted to get their refunds back, but they had obviously more than 2 hours of game time, Steam gave them the refunds back themselves, just so, you know, there wasn't any like hate towards Steam on that platform. There's a reason that people regard Steam as, you know, number one when it comes to online marketplaces on PC. But however, given all this freedom also comes at a price, because apparently the ADL recently, which I have not been familiar with this firm, the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, they claim that Steam is housing extremist and hateful content on the platform due to obviously how people can, you know, have these really terrible things as their names and profile pictures and maybe their banners and shit, just, you know, comments, all that kind of community stuff that unfortunately a lot of us know about in like the depths of Steam, where people are just saying dumb shit. And a couple of days ago, the ADL, they said that they did an endless of public data on Steam, including more than 458 million user profiles, 152 million profile and user group avatar images, and 610 user comments. And they said that they found millions of examples of extremist and hateful content. Specifically things like, you know, those copy pastes as you might see on someone's user profile where you can comment on there, and, you know, they have like hate symbols, like I'm not going to say these words because I don't want this video to get flagged or demonetized, but you know, this word too. Just some really heinous shit that falls on the people that are, you know, doing these things and, you know, showing all these images and shit. You know, never did Steam ever publicly claim to endorse this kind of behavior. They even have a policy content agreement in the Steam TOS, to which obviously they prohibit the use of all these kinds of things from happening on the platform. But again, people are just, you know, like I said, stupid. But now Steam is starting to face a little more backlash, this time from, you know, actual government officials like the US Senator, who wrote a letter to 𝐂𝐀𝐒𝐈𝐄 claiming that, you know, he wants to know what the hell they're going to do about this, since apparently a couple years back he wrote a similar letter to Valve asking about the ongoing increase of numbers of this heinous shit on the platform and what they're going to do. And since obviously I guess Game Noah brushed this guy off, and now it's kind of stirring in the pot, and it's just a really weird spot for, you know, this entire situation, because first of all, you know, like we just established, there's hundreds upon hundreds of millions of Steam users to which, you know, they'd have to virtually manually go through and verify their profiles and see, you know, what they have on there and what they don't have, which would take an extreme amount of time, likely not in the kind of time frame that would please the US Senator and the ADL. But even if they decide to turn to the community and, you know, say if you see something, say something and report it, and you just have this big ticket lounge of all these profiles that they have to go through, that could be, you know, obviously weaponized in the highest degree, especially for a platform that holds a pretty toxic ass game like, you know, Counter-Strike, where if you don't like how someone played against you in a match, they could just report your profile pic even if you don't have anything, you know, heinous on there. Just that alone is going to cause a lot of confusion and just, you know, make the whole reporting process more complicated than it already is. So it's all just odd as hell. And even if they decide to implement some sort of like, you know, automative like scanner on the profile, which doesn't even sound like something really possible, like how would they do that? You know, how would the technology even occur for some shit like that to even happen? But then again, that opens up for even more room for error. Maybe you have some sort of image that they mistake for a heinous image like a, you know, S word. Then you open up a can of worms for, you know, false reports and false bans, and it's just a really weird thing to scrutinize. And I just don't think that there's a timeline where this gets resolved in a timely manner. And, you know, Steam, they gain millions of users every single year, so, you know, combine that with the fact that there's an abundance of just dumb people who believe in dumb things in the world, you know, this just doesn't go away like that. And the fact that the ADL and US Senator, obviously they can't see that, and they're saying they want them to adopt other standard practices that other companies are doing, which I don't know what the hell that means. The only practices that I could guess that they would be referring to is maybe having like already generated user profiles and banners, which would make Steam, you know, lose its charm and turn into a bot website. So it's all just weird. So hopefully, you know, this gets resolved and people stop doing this dumb shit, and maybe, you know, Steam just reiterates the fact that, you know, they do have a content policy, but, you know, who knows. And lastly for the day, it is time. It is the Game Awards time that we usually get every December, and hopefully, you know, this year we get another strength that comes on stage and, you know, interrupts it, because that's what I'm hoping for the most. That it's gonna be funny as hell. But in all seriousness, it is time to vote, and, you know, I gotta cast my yearly vote. Now, to be fair, I haven't played all these games. You know, most of these games I've actually watched people play, you know, on Twitch and shit. So, you know, I'm gonna give my opinion on some of these games based on how much fun I had watching. So whether that's cheating or not, who cares? But if there's a question that I'm just, you know, completely dumbfounded on, you know, I'll try to skip it if they let me. I don't know if this works like how the Streamer Awards did, where you just skip a question, but, you know, if not, I'm just gonna throw some shit out there. I don't really, you know, like the time when I was in freaking school, man, I just threw shit out there, man. Okay, first, goddamn, start with the freaking full course meal for breakfast. Okay, game of the year: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth. Okay. Solid lineup here, solid lineup. I haven't played all these, you know. I did watch people play Black Myth. I already knew about Balatro. I didn't really care for the Elden Ring DLC because I'm not really a Souls like type of player. Final Fantasy 7. I was definitely playing Metaphor Fantasia. This is a game that I want to play myself. Out of these options, I gotta go Astrobot because that's the only one I have experience with. So, next category: best game direction. What if for outstanding creative vision and innovative in-game direction and design? Alright, we got the same shit. Let's see, bro. You're making me. Can I just go next? Let's just go next. Alright. Best narrative: Final Fantasy 7, Infinite Wealth, Fantasio, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Bro, Hellblade 2 was a freaking face muscle simulator. Like freaking Senwa, you're going crazy with all those freaking face animations she was doing, freaking gritting her teeth all the goddamn time. And those voices in her head were just annoying as hell. So I'm definitely not gonna vote that. But again, I would probably put this between Metaphor Fantasia, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about the game, but I just haven't had the time to play it yet. Fuck. Fuck. Art direction. Okay, this is easy. I can do this. I can do Astrobat. I like Astrobat the most out of those. Best score in music. Fuck. I'm going Stellar Blade. Best audio design. In-game audio and sound design. Out of these, yeah, I'll give it the Black Ops 6. Only because of the campaign. You know, I enjoyed hearing my enemies, you know, falter to my gunshots. Best performance, individual voice acting. Star Wars Outlaws, Life is Strange, Final Fantasy, Senua. Out of these, I give it to Luke Roberts. Silent Hill was a fun narrative to watch. Innovative and inaccessibility. Definitely not Dragon Age the Veilguard, even though I enjoyed playing it. I'm definitely not giving it to that. Suing them, pushing the medium. None of these really push the medium though. None of these. This is like a 2D, 3D Castlevania type of game. Star Wars Outlaws is an okay 3D open world. Diablo 4 is a Diablo MMO and shit. Black Ops is Call of Duty. Damn, I don't want to give it to none of these. I'm gonna skip. Skip that shit. Thought-provoking game with post-social media and message. I've only played Hellblade, and I wouldn't say that's a pro-social media. That's just a game about a freaking lady that likes to grit her teeth a lot. So I'm gonna just. What was another one? Tales of. Yeah, I never played that shit either. Damn, bro. I feel so left out on this. So I'm just skip this one too. Best ongoing, development of ongoing. Okay, so this is like live service shit. I gotta give it to, as much as I don't want to because of Sony, Arrowhead, the developers, they're doing some really cool shit with Helldivers too. You know, they're doing some real cool shit. Best community support. Best independent game. Okay. Ooh, I'm going well. Best debut indie game. Ooh, okay. Everything except for Lucky Squire. The Plucky Squire. Okay, fuck that up. Is and the only thing I haven't played on this list. I did like Specific Drive. I forgot that was this year. That was a good ass game. I really love Manor Lords. Like I was deep into that. Damn. I'm going Manor Lords. I was into this the most. Manor Lords for sure. Made a whole video about that too. Best mobile game. I don't play mobile games anymore. They got Pokemon Go on here and Subway Surfers. That's one shit I play. AFK Journey. Shit, Pokemon closest enough. That's all I play. Best VR, AR. I don't know. Get this shit on my face. Best action game. Out of these, I've seen some really cool gameplay out of Warhammer 40,000. Like, that was really fun to watch, but I'm going. Damn, I wish they separated Black Ops 6 from the campaign to the freaking multiplayer, because that's all I play it for, and I really enjoyed the campaign. So I'm gonna just go. Well, Black Myth did some really cool shit too, but you know, I only watched that, so I can only have like a half input on that. So I'm just go. All right, Helldivers, good. I don't care. Best action adventure. Why is this here? This is a freaking puzzle game. Oh, combining combat with reversal puzzle style. Okay, I was about to say this is a freaking puzzle game mostly. Doing like a couple of sections where you actually, well, I mean technically, you know, you do send your goons out to fight your battles. But yeah, I give it to Prince of Persia. Out of these, I'd give it to Prince of Persia. Best RPG. Where's okay, I forgot it's 2020. It's 2024. I'm about to say where's Baldur's Gate 3, but it's cool. Didn't really care for Dragon's Dogma 1, so I didn't play Dragon's Dogma 2. Again, don't really care for the Souls likes. I haven't played this fucking game yet. Skip. Because I probably would have given it to Metaphor. I just haven't played it. Best fighting, Tekken 8 for me. Best family game, Echoes of Wisdom. Whoa! Astrobot was there, but I already bought it for Astrobot, so I'm just getting this one. Echoes. Best simulator, best sports. I don't even play the sports games. Oh, 2K. I did play this a lot. I love 2K. WWE 2K. Multiplayer. Out of these, adaptation. Ooh, okay. I'm going Fallout. Fallout was amazing, even though I've heard really cool things about Arcane. Most anticipated. Content creator of the year. I don't see a Johnny the Wizard, but you know, I'll go 𝐂𝐄 because out of these, that's the only person I actually watch. I'll go 𝐂𝐄. Even though typical gamer is an OG. I used to watch him a lot when I was young too. He's a pretty cool dude. Best esports. I'm not really into these. I'll go Valorant only because I had a Valorant phase back in 2021, and you know, I came to my senses. But best esports, I don't know these people. I'm sorry. Much respect to all these dudes, but I don't know shit about esports. Player's voice: 3 rounds, three chances to vote. Notify me when okay, notify me. All right. Okay, I think we're good. All right. If you enjoyed this video, leave, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.